welcome back to the Circuit Revival and Happy New Year everyone. I hope everyone has a great 2025. Today we're going to start off looking with this Bush DAB radio. It's come in with a no power, so we'll get it open, we'll give that a test and then see if we can't find anything out. So it looks like it's got mains and batteries. Buttons on top, so let's get some batteries in and give it a go. So nothing at all. Just double check those batteries. So they look like they're in series. So if we go from here to here, 6.25 volts. Yep, which is about right. So nothing there. Let's get these out. And it looks like there's just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Phillips screws here. So we'll just fly through this. And then hopefully this should just lift up. There we go. Okay, let's see if we can just get this disconnected. We'll just try and work out, so power is headphones there. Okay, it should be kind of easy, shouldn't get this wrong afterwards. Give ourselves just a bit more room. Sort of glued on, so we'll leave that. So we'll start with just a visual inspection. I think I can see something already there. So let's just get this under the microscope. There we are. This is what I've seen. Doesn't look very healthy. I've got a lump on it there. See if we can read that. S5ECD. We'll have a look at that. I'll just take a look around the rest of this board. See if we can see anything else. So I always used to think Bush was a good name, but looking around for things to fix, the name comes up a lot, in all fairness. I think that's just conformal coating there. Little fuse, or 0 ohm resistor. Is that a hole? That is a hole. Okay, well that's definitely a problem. So we've got that and that. Okay, let's just test a couple of things first. We'll just make sure it's not taking anything else out. So we'll try this 0 ohm resistor in continuity first. So that's fine. We'll test the power button as well, just in case that's not working. So that's this top one here. See. So nothing there and there, and then we should be able to go here and here, and then there we go. So that's fine. So I think the issue is these two components here. Let's see if we can read this. IDCXD080. See what that comes up as. S5ELD. Some research, see if I can find out what they are. Okay, so it's been a couple of days now and I kind of struggled a bit basically. So I couldn't work out what the chip with the hole in is specifically. So I worked out just by the placement on the board, it's an audio amplifier. We did manage to work out what the other one is, the one with the little lump, through some really bad circuit diagrams and a bit of help from the community. We worked it out to be a linear regulator. And I managed to source some from China, so they're going to take a while to get here. But the other one, we just had no luck with trying to work out a part for it. So we figured the only way to do it would be to probably get another board and compare and see if we can work it out. So I've done the probably not so sensible thing and bought another one, which in terms of sort of money doesn't make any sense because the price of it, you might as well just buy a new working one. So I've got this, but this thing's amazing. Look at it. Look at this. So I don't know whoever owned this before. It's amazing. It's brilliant. So this one's supposedly working. So what I'm going to do is open it up and basically try swap those two components onto this board. And if that works, then we know we've fixed it. And I might be able to use the markings on the good chip on here to actually work out what it is I need. So I'll just fast forward through this whilst I get this one open, and then we'll see if we can get any markings off of it. And if we can, I might be able to find an alternative. We'll get it on and then see what we can do. Okay, so we're in there and just taking a look, we can pretty much see the boards are identical by the most part there. So what we'll do is we'll get it underneath the scope and see whether we can see any part numbers for that audio amplifier chip, see if that might help us find some replacements, and then we'll try swapping some bits over. So here we are under the microscope, and as we can see some new markings there. So 80028. So I'll just do a quick search and see whether that shows anything. Okay, so just on AliExpress, and yeah, it looks like we can find them for 94p each there. Probably find some on eBay as well, but looks like we can definitely get those now then. So what we'll do is we'll swap these parts over and see if it brings it back to life. Okay, what I think I might do is just to save damaging anything potentially, is I think I might just try and get these boards out of here as well. Just because there's a lot of kind of plastic and stuff around, I don't want to melt anything accidentally, so we'll pull the two boards out, should allow us just to swap the two parts over a bit easier. And then we'll put them back in. Obviously it should be nice and clear which one is which, because the originally working board is in the very Diamante housing. Okay, some of these wires are hard soldered on by the looks of things, so they may just have to stay there and we'll just sort of bend them out of the way. So we can get the shell off to the side. Here we are with the good board, and there's the audio amplifier chip, and then there is the replacement chip. But you see, I think that has a slightly different code on it, which, if I'm correct, I think is the code on the one I actually found online. So possibly would have had more luck getting it a bit quicker if we had this board first, but there we go. So what we'll do to begin with is we'll add some flux, and I'll use my hot air station to lift that off the board. There's not really any plastic or anything around to be too worried about other than on the other side, but we shouldn't have to worry too much about that. We'll add a bit of flux. Now the flux here will help the solder flow, and as I say, I'll use my hot air station for this. Now it's quite a thin board, so I will set my temperature a bit lower than I normally would do, and then if it doesn't budge, we'll raise it up. So all I've done there is I've just put the board in a holder just to stop it moving around, which should hopefully make it a bit easier to lift up. So I'll start just by adding some temperature into the board, and then we'll get a bit closer and we'll wait for the solders to melt, and then we'll just lift the chip off. Okay, so that's the two chips off of the good board. Now we just need to do the same with the bad board. Okay, so I think I'm just going to use the original solder that's on the board. I don't think I'm going to add anything new to this. So I've got it in a position where hopefully I can take the old one off and then get the new one back in its place. And then we'll do the same with the other component there. So this one's quite clear because we have a marking show where pin 1 is, and that is dictated in the top corner here. Usually there's something on the board that indicates where pin 1 is as well, but I can't quite see that currently. But we know that pin 1's in the top corner, so we know we want to line up the dot with the other one in the top corner. And then with the other one, it should be kind of clear because there's 3 legs on one side and 2 on the other, so we'll just make sure it's that way around. So I think I've just noticed that none of that was filming, so here we are. What you missed there is I knocked a few bits off the board. I'm just resetting them here. So you just see that capacitor flow back into place. Just do the same with this resistor up here. Okay. Just try and flow that chip back into place. So I think that's in place. What we'll do is we'll just come in with the iron, just go over these joints, and then we'll add a bit of flux. Okay, we'll just give this a bit of a clean. Just double check there's no bridges. No, cool. So apologies that I didn't have that filming properly, but hopefully you saw the important bit. And then the main takeaway for that is if you do knock bits out of place, don't fret. You can always fix it, just take your time. But just to recap, you can see this top pin is in place here with that little dot there. So all I'm using to clean this up is some isopropyl alcohol and a cotton swab. So what we'll do is we'll move over to this other chip. So this is the other one that we need to replace. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to rotate this around again. Should hopefully make it a bit easier for me to get to and swap out. So with this one, 2 legs at the top, 3 legs at the bottom. So I've got my replacement chip here orientated in the right way, so it should just be a case of lift up and swap out. Okay, that's in place, but I think I'm going to touch up the legs a bit with the iron again. Yeah, I'm happy with them now. So we'll do the same again, we'll just clean it up. Whilst the board is still warm, because it makes it a lot easier to clean, because if you wait until the board cools down, the flux cools down with it and it goes quite tacky. But if that does happen, it's not a problem. You can just use your hot air again, just spray it, filter it down, heat it up, and it should come off a bit easier. Okay, so that's the faulty board with all the new components on it. We've got the faulty chip there. We'll just move that off to the side. And then the linear regulator there. So all I need to do is just get this back together into the housing, and we'll put this back into the original housing, so the one without all the diamantes on it. Okay, so we're all back together there. We'll just get the batteries back in and then try it. Hey, we got a blue light. Welcome to digital radio. Nothing there. See if we can tune this in. Scanning. See if this can find anything. Okay, so it's trying to find anything, but what I might just do is go into another room and see if it has any luck there. It might just be where I am in the house. So I've tried in some different rooms in the house and it's still not connecting to anything, so I'm just going to open it up and just double check that I've actually got everything connected properly and that I've not forgotten to attach the antenna or something. Alright, some of you probably already spotted this, but I think this might be the issue. The antenna cable has broken off. I probably pulled it a bit too hard when I was opening it. So I'll just have a look at the other one just to see where that should be attached. Okay, so this is the other one, and it sort of just tucks into the side of the black cable there, so it's just underneath this glue. So I might just need to try and prise this glue off a bit to get that in there. Although, what I'll just check is, let me zoom in a bit. You can see, hopefully, there. This is where it's kind of come off, just in this area here. I'm going to double check whether this solder point here connects to where it should be, because if it does, I'll just attach it onto there instead. I know the glue's there to sort of hold it in place a bit more, but it shouldn't really be being yanked around a bit. So we'll just get the multimeter into continuity, which is the mode that beeps when we have a complete circuit. And I'll just touch this solder point here and then under that glue. And it does connect together there. So what I'll do is I'll just solder it onto that point there, save sort of lifting all that glue up. That's now attached and solid. Let's get this back together and try that again. Okay, we're back together again. Let's see if it works this time. Okay, I'm just going to try in another room again because it has connected something. I just don't know if it's got a good connection here. Okay, so here we are. We have got a connection. It doesn't sound great just because I don't think it's really got a good connection where we are in this house, but there it is working. So there we have it, you saw it working. May not have sounded crystal clear because there's not always a good connection in this house. I've got another radio that also doesn't really connect very well. But there we had it broken to two little things, one of which being the audio amplifier chip here, which from now on I'm going to start referring to as a fuse, because every audio product I work with, that blows before the actual fuses do. So thanks for watching and see you in the next one.